Muhammad Afzal Malik, educationist, business and management consultant. Welcome to my talk. In my previous talk, I provided some information about the challenges and how to meet those challenges. Today, I would like to talk about a very basic, fundamental thing which we all talk about a lot wherever we sit, in a family, in family friends, in groups, in educational discussions, when we talk about politics, when we talk about a country. One thing which is very much talk with planning, and we say, particularly when we talk about the country, that there is no planning, the things are done in a haphazard manner, the things are not properly done, properly executed, properly thought of. And we always blame others, and it's very easy to blame others. But if somebody asks us, okay, come forward, take the responsibility, take the lead, and help solve the issue, solve the matter, then we try to find a escape route. Okay, so planning. In a simple word, planning is done for future, for tomorrow. Planning is not done for yesterday and even for today. But real meaning of planning is that we have to think about the time to come, which is tomorrow. And the wise people also say that tomorrow never comes, because every tomorrow is today and every today is yesterday. I always say that there are 3 periods in which we live. We pass through the journey of our life. Number 1 is the present. We start with present. When we are born, my present started that day. Then every day is present. Whatever we don't do anything in the past, and we don't do anything in future. We do everything in present. So that means present is very important. Present is very, very important. And my conclusion of this long life journey and experience is that if you spend your today properly, whatever you want to do it in the right manner, in the right fashion, achieve your whatever the goal and objective you have set in the morning. And that means because every today will become yesterday, and the coming day, that will be future, tomorrow, and every tomorrow becomes today. That's why the wise people say tomorrow never comes, because every tomorrow becomes today and every today becomes yesterday. So if we spend our today rightly, as I said, then our past will be glorious. We will cherish we feel happy that whatever I wanted to achieve, I have achieved this. No regrets. And then your future will be bright, because this today will be tomorrow at the same time. So our tomorrow, the brightness of our tomorrow, or success of our tomorrow, is entirely based on my today. So that we have to keep in mind. So we have to live in today. Majority of us, we live in two times. Either yesterday, which is already gone, done, we cannot improvement, and we can't do any improvement, we cannot recall it. And tomorrow will come or will not come. Maybe it's an illusion. Okay. So either we live in yesterday, past, or we live in future. Hope, lot of hopes. It's not bad to hope. Wishing something is not bad. That keeps our life moving forward. So the important thing is our today. That is the reality. That whatever we want to achieve, let's achieve it today. And there is a saying, very powerful saying, and that we've been told when we were in school, that never put off till tomorrow what you can do today. That means you have to complete your everything which you are supposed to do today. Because every tomorrow is going to bring its own burden, its own task. But if we have not finished our task of today, then that will be carried forward tomorrow. So that means the burden will be increased. But we have limited time. So the best approach is to do whatever we want to do today. And it's not that, oh, I will do tomorrow, I will do exercise tomorrow, I will eat healthy like tomorrow, I will finish this work tomorrow, I will sleep early tomorrow, and so many postponement, tomorrow. That's why tomorrow never comes. This is very important. The successful people around you, or we remember them with pride. They are mentors. So they have spent their today very wisely. So let's also be a role model for others, so that our generation, they will also remember us the way we are remembering those great people and our mentors. Okay, so tomorrow, of course, there is a hope. When we go to bed, at the end of the day, we go to bed with the hope that I will wake up in the morning. And we wake up in the morning. So we should not lose, I'm not saying that we should lose the hope. Okay, so planning is something which we have to do for the time to come. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, next week, next month, 6 months, a year. And there are short-term planning, there is a long-term planning. Short-term planning is for the small periods, weeks and months. Long-term planning is maybe a year or more than years. Okay. So first of all, we have to understand the concept of planning. So my understanding of planning is, as a teacher of management, and I also teach that. I mean, it's teaching over the 55 years now, with the grace of Allah, alhamdulillah, but still I teach. That planning is that where we are at the moment, where we are and where we want to go. That means the present situation and then where we have to go, the period to come. And planning is that how to fill this gap, how to bridge over this gap, how to bridge over this gap. That means where we are and where we want to go. So we have to bridge over this gap. It's called planning. Of course, number one is the time. We have to decide the time period, because time is of the essence. Time is very important. Period. Nothing can be infinite. Every activity which we start, and we all know that, every activity we start, there is a starting time and there is an end time. But it's a small, or it's a medium, or it's a big. Every activity of our life, daily life, has a starting point and ending point. Same with the planning. It has a starting point and it has a ending point. So when we say where we are, the first step in planning is that we have to understand our present situation. Our present situation in which we are. We have to do analysis, understand it. What I have, what resources I have, what strength I have, what weaknesses I have, what tools I have, what skills I have, what knowledge I have. So we want to have a full understanding of my being in present. Because everything which we have to achieve in the coming time, which we call future, so our base is our today. And the base is all the resources which we have today. And in order to achieve whatever we want to or wish to achieve for the coming time, we have to find out, we have to develop, we have to understand that what resources do we need. That means time is also a resource. Manpower is a resource, material is a resource, technology is a resource. So all this we have to find out what I need. If we have to manufacture something, even if we have to build a house, so we have to know that what kind of house I want, how many rooms, bedrooms, washrooms, this, that, and how much money I need, and then how much other resources, raw material, and labor, and all that, till the house is completed. That means we have to do a detailing of that. So we have to line up. We have to, and that is God planning, that we are thinking ahead today, thinking in advance. And of course, that in planning process, there are certain things which are very visible. Then as we go farther, then things start becoming opaque, and after a certain point, a distance, we cannot see anything. So basically that is the area If everything is clear, crystal clear to us, and that is only for a short distance, then we know that what we want and how we want to do. But when the distance is expanding and getting shady and opaque, real planning starts from there, and to that period which we cannot see with any with the naked eyes or even using some tools. That is called the gray area. And then total blind. Like when we drive, and we've been told and we have learned that when we are on the road, we have blind spots. That's why we have to have shoulder check on left and right and look at the mirror. Because if we don't do the shoulder check, we can have accident. That's that important. Similarly, the shoulder check is a planning, making sure what is there in the blind spot. So we have to see that how wide this bridge we want, how wide the span is on which we have to build this bridge to achieve our goals and to reach our destination. So so we have to decide in advance, number one, what to do and why we want to do. I told you in my previous talk, this word why, WHY, is very, very important. We must have an answer of any why. So, what to do, why to do, how to do it, and when to do it. These three are very important. What, why, how, when, and where. Where is a place? Because we are not going to do anything up in the air. So these things, we must have an answer of these. I would repeat, what to do. We should be very clear. And why to do. Again, we have answered it. It's not that I don't know. It's not a wishful thinking. And then how to do. That we what tools, technology, material, money, resources, manpower we need. And when the time period, when you will start it. What would be the right time? And where do we start the place? Where you want to build the house, a building, a business, even motorways, even railway tracks, even bridges, everything. So I told you that we make a short-term operational things, making sure, and then we also do a long-term for a longer period of time. Now, if this is the planning, then what is the strategic planning? So there is a difference, a marked difference in that. In simple planning, we just think what to do, how to do, when to do, why to do, where to do, and we put the resources and we just go to sleep. And then at the end of the period, generally we wake up and want to see, have we achieved whatever we plan to achieve? And it's not necessary that whatever we have planned, the way we have planned, that we have achieved that. No, it's not. Maybe just possible, based on my experience, that you have just half completed your project, whatever you want to achieve. not properly, not exactly to the specification, to the dimensions, to the quality. Now, in this case, the time is gone, the resources are used, the money is used, but we have not achieved what we want to achieve, which we got, what we planned. Now, what we can do? And there's no benefit of crying. Okay? That means everything is consumed. We cannot get them back. This is a very serious thing, that we cannot get them back. Money is spent, time is gone, resources are used, but we have not got whatever we wanted to get it. Okay? And if we want to complete it rightly and properly, again we have to spend more resources. And we might not be having those resources now. So how we can avoid that? We can avoid this situation doing a strategic planning. Now, what is the strategic planning? The difference is only that we have to evolve a strategy, that we have to do the monitoring and evaluation of whatever we have planned to achieve on a regular basis consistently. And we have to divide the whole planning into small plans. And then we have to monitor the progress very closely, regularly, and to see, have we achieved or we are achieving whatever we have planned. So that if there is a shortfall, so that is this a problem, we can take the necessary corrective actions well on time. We can save time and the resources. It's not in a simple planning that you wake up after a year and then you see, if the building is ready. It might not be. But in strategic planning, that means, number one, we have to attach monitoring and evaluation with the progress on the project, and the monitoring and evaluation must go side by side, like the railway lines. And wherever we have to take the necessary corrective actions, we must take, so that we have to save the remaining resources, all the resources which I just talked about. And at the end, we must achieve whatever we wanted to achieve effectively and efficiently. Another thing which we do in strategic planning is that we have to think quite ahead, which we don't do in simple planning, ordinary planning. And that is very important. That is why we call it strategic. We have to understand what is the meaning of strategy. Now, strategy is an action plan with the allocation of resources attached with monitoring and evaluation. That is called strategy. and we also call about policy. So policy is a guideline for action. How to do that? Guideline, instructions, manual, that is called policy. So there's a difference between policy and strategy, and the difference between a simple planning, ordinary planning, to strategic planning. So in strategic planning, we further go. We have to think today that tomorrow, after some time, if anything happened abnormal and that can affect my plan, my project, then what corrective actions we have to take. So we have to think the evolving problem in a future time. We see all the possibility, what could happen in the way of this planning process. What maximum can happen, and if that will happen, how we are going to deal with that, what actions we have to take so that the things should remain in control. So we have to think them today. That means we are going to forecast quite ahead, framing all those eventualities and possibilities, and then finding the answers even today, not at that time. Generally, in simple planning, I want to say, if that will happen, something will happen, then we will think how to deal with that. But that is not the right approach. That is not a strategic planning. Maybe at that time, when you find anything abnormal happening in the course of action, the situation emerged instantly. It doesn't give you the time to think and to find a better solution. That situation, because you are not prepared for that, so that situation will demand to take an immediate action. Otherwise, there can be a big disaster. So that in that situation, it doesn't give you time. You have to take an action, and in majority of the cases, the actions are detrimental. Let's say you are on the road and you are not focusing on your driving and maybe listening music or talking on cell phone, and all of a sudden you see that there is a red light and you are going at speed. So now you don't have a time to react and to act. So you have to take a quick decision. Should I stop or should I go? And in both cases, there is a danger. If you abruptly stop, maybe the vehicle behind can hit you. Or if you think, I should go, maybe you are going to hit another car coming another side. Because you don't have the time for action. So you are taking an abrupt decision. And in abrupt decision, we can commit blunders. And sometimes we have to pay a very heavy price. Therefore, in strategic planning, we are thinking today that six months down the road, 1 month down the road, 1 year down the road, what could have happened? What would be the government policies, political situation, economic situation, inflation, availability of materials and raw materials and inputs, manpower, other resources, act of God, and prepare ourselves today that if that would happen, I would be having this solution. I would be taking these corrective actions, and that means we have to line up everything in advance so that we should not create a crisis situation, and we should be in a position to meet with that challenge. And I told you in my yesterday's talk that how we have to deal with the challenges. Because in planning there are a lot of challenges. That's why I thought that I would first talk about the challenges and how to deal with them, and then I should talk about planning process. So we have to keep on monitoring and evaluating our progress on that project regularly, consistently, and be ready all the time to take the necessary corrective action, because in emergency situation we don't have the time to think wisely, but many times we take an abrupt action. So in order to avoid that, we have to do a strategic planning. And monitoring it and taking necessary corrective actions. So general and ordinary planning is less flexible, and we assume everything will be done the way we have planned. It may or may not. But in strategic planning, it's more flexible and adaptive to environment, ensuring the organization, the management can take effective actions and ensure the sustainability. Ensure that whatever we wanted to achieve, we are achieving that. We are progressing on the right direction. So in this way, we can avoid cost overruns. We can avoid, extension of the time. Because if your project is not completed within time, then you have to spend more money. The cost will overrun. And sometimes it becomes difficult to complete it because money is not grown on the trees. And even if it's grown on the trees, if there's a rain outside, the dollar will not be there, they will be wet. And in autumn, in fall, no leaves, no dollars. So, in short, planning is about doing things right as we have planned, and while the strategic planning is about doing the right thing. So there is a difference. And planning is about doing things right, doing things right. But in strategic planning is doing the right thing, doing the right thing, and that is more important, doing the right thing, not doing the thing rightly. So that is what is counted, that doing the right thing in the right time with the right resources. That will be only appreciated, and that will only bring the rewards. So I pause it here because almost it's more than half an hour, and I will talk about the element of strategic planning in more detail in my next talk, hopefully tomorrow. Till then, thank you so very much being with me, patience, listening. I hope that you will find it beneficial and you will apply that in your life, in your work, in your business. And I always say at the end that let's help each other. Let's share what we have, as I am trying to share that with you. Okay? So let's share the knowledge with others. The more we share, the more the knowledge will increase. And that is also rewarding in this world and the world after, which we call Sadaqah Jariyah. Okay? Because if we spread knowledge and help make the life of the people better, so you will get reward, and you keep on getting reward till the day of judgment. And let's be supportive, helpful to each other. Let's cooperate and collaborate. Let's not be of enemies of each other. Let's not have a personality clashes. Because that is not good for even our own health. Let's build the community collectively for our youth, our children, grandchildren, and the future generation. May Allah bless you all. Jazakallah khairan. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.